Good evening, everybody. What's good? It's your main girl, Mel. I'm so happy to have you back here with me, even though I have no energy to do my hair. I don't know if you can tell, I sound like I'm a little under the weather. So I thought instead of doing my hair, I could share with you how you can do your hair. That's right, I am building a routine for you. And you. If you like this video, because we can make it a regular series on this channel. Starting with the runners-up, our first examples. 3 lovely ladies who actually just won a recent giveaway from me. They willingly offered to share their hair type with me to include in this video so that I could share different routines and product recommendations that they can use and you can too. And then there's me, your host and main girl Mel, in case you don't know who am I? I am a hairstylist, curly hair specialist, your curl mom. I'm here to explain what your routine should look like with a variety of different product options that you can choose to use. Based on your hair type, which includes your texture and your porosity, the products I'm going to mention in today's video are all ones that I love and I use on my hair, and they all come from different price points as well. That way you can take my recommendations and apply them to your beauty budget so we don't break the beauty bank. But anywho, without further ado, let me introduce you to our lovely models.
I have one thing to say. You better work, bitch.
First up on the roster, we have Miss Arlette. This beauty has got thick, coarse, and low porosity hair that she cannot get to hold, in her words. Next up, Miss Maria. Maria. She reminds me of a curly story. She is our medium queen. She's got medium texture, medium porosity, and not to mention a gorgeous wavy curly pattern. And finally, Miss Casey. Casey with a C for high porosity. Do you get what I did there? She has like 4C texture and high porosity, fine hair strands with an emphasis on the fine. Am I right? But just in case you are somebody that doesn't know what their hair's porosity is or their texture, so you're not sure whose routine that you should take after, your hair texture is going to refer to the thickness, the diameter of your hair strands. Fine hair strands are going to be super thin and they can be super fragile. Miss Casey's texture is super fine, and so is mine. I'm a fine to medium hair texture, and I know this because my strands are basically non-existent if I take one and rub it in between my fingers. I can't feel that it's there. Whereas coarse strands are going to be much thicker and they're going to have a much greater presence. You'll be able to feel the thread of your hair. Coarse strands naturally have more weight to them. They're heavier, they're denser, which is why we really want to make sure that we're applying the right products to them so we're not further weighing them down. Hence why our texture is so important to take note of when we're deciding what products we need to use. The other thing is your porosity. Now, your porosity is your hair's ability to absorb moisture. As a general rule of thumb, fine hair tends to be more porous, higher porosity, and coarse hair, it tends to be more resistant, more low porosity. You can test your porosity at home by taking a clean section of hair with no product on it that is dry and taking a spray bottle and spraying it and seeing how fast it absorbs the water. High porosity will suck it right up, and it will also spit it back out. So if you're noticing your hair gets very dry very fast and it's not very shiny, then you're likely high porosity. So now that you know your hair's texture and your hair's porosity, that is pretty much everything you need to know. What your curl pattern is really not important information when it comes to deciding which products your hair needs. Okay? Believe me. So now that we know that, we're all caught up. Let's start with our low porosity, thick, coarse textured queen, Miss Arlette. So as Arlette expressed, it's really hard for her to get hold on her hair. Her hair, which is coarse and low porosity. Now, because of the resistance of low porosity, the fact that the cuticle layers are very tight, it is hydrophobic, it does not want to absorb water or product very easily. Therefore, I'm getting vibe that a lot of the products that she may be using may be too heavy, too moisturizing, right? Right. And therefore, too softening on her hair, which is preventing her from being able to get that cast and long-lasting hold that she wants in her style. That is my diagnosis, and now here's my prescription. Clean is best. We're going to start with a clarifying shampoo. Every single routine that I'm going to mention today is going to include a clarifying shampoo because it is a step that cannot be skipped. Otherwise, you're going to fall down the stairs. The whole routine will be a disaster.
Lois, what the hell?
So for a light clarifying shampoo that's going to be gentle enough for regular or everyday use without stripping the hair, I'm going to recommend the Twist Hit Reset Light Clarifying Shampoo. This shampoo has got a blend of heavy lifters and gentle surfactants to cleanse while also having some conditioning ingredients in it like jojoba oil. It's got panthenol, it's got aloe vera, as well as rice protein. So it's going to help to cleanse and condition without leaving your hair feeling too stripped. This would be my very affordable and accessible option, but I am also going to pull up and recommend the good stuff. This, in my books, is top tier, greatest of all time.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
Clarifying shampoos. It is the Untitled pH9 shampoo. This is from Malibu C. It is a professional product that would be used in salons to really help remove all kinds of buildup from the hair. The pH9 of the shampoo are going to cause your strands to swell a little bit, which is really going to help to remove buildup, but most importantly, allow for better penetration of the rest of our products. While she is very cleansing, she's still quite gentle. It's a sulfate-free formula. Just as a texture comparison, the UN-DO-GOO has got a clearer, more lightweight and watery formula. It's very easy to distribute throughout the hair. And again, the Twist Light Clarifying Shampoo, it is more gentle. It's a little bit more conditioning and not just clarifying. And you can see that in that creaminess of the shampoo's opacity. Definitely more gentle if you wash your hair every day or very often. The UN-DO-GOO doesn't need to be used every day. Don't use this every day. Use this as needed, maybe once a week, maybe just once a month. And just so I don't have to repeat myself, again, the voice is going. If I'm recommending a clarifying shampoo, unless I say otherwise, these are the ones that I'm recommending right now. They're my top go-tos. And I will be linking these as well as all the products that I'm using and talking about in the description box below, so you can find the links there. You're also going to want to use a conditioner that's very lightweight. Your conditioner should meet your hair's moisture needs, which is going to be reflected in your hair's porosity. Now with low porosity, because the cuticle is so compact and intact, you naturally have a very protective layer over your hair strands that is protecting the inner portions of our hair strands, which contains the hair's protein. It gives our hair the strength. So what does that mean? You don't really need a lot of protein. But what you want to do is treat your hair intuitively. That's what your conditioner is. Your conditioner is like a treatment to your strands. And so if you are feeling super dry, maybe you recently lightened, color treated, blow dried, used heat on your low porosity hair, don't be shy to use a little bit of protein in there. So I'm going to give you a few options for conditioner. First up, we've got the Twist Sunday Feels Hair Mask. This is going to be great to use after using a very deeply clarifying shampoo. It's going to deliver moisture while not being too heavy on the hair. And this one is protein-free. Another protein-free option that's a little bit more on the luxury scale would be the Nutriplenish by Aveda. They have a deep moisture or a light moisture. So you could really choose if your hair is very, very dry, if you need more of a light moisture, or the deep moisture, which I personally like. Not just for my hair, but also for coarse strands, because I find that it's moisturizing enough to give you the slip and the nourishment. This is also a silicone-free formula. You'll notice as I'm talking about low porosity, pretty much all the products I mentioned are going to be silicone-free. Unless we're talking about like a heat protectant, because you're not really going to be needing a lot of that sealing that silicones can give. Your cuticles are already shut. So that's another one that I really, really love. But maybe you're looking for a 2-in-1. Now, Twist has this 2-in-1 conditioner and primer. And I mentioned this specifically for you, Arlette. I hope you're watching. Let me know if you're watching, sound off below. Because knowing that you want hard hold to your styles, this is going to be great for you to use in the shower. It is a very moisturizing, this is the ultimate moisture line from Twist. It's going to give you a lot of moisture that you can choose to rinse out. Feel free to apply this in the shower, give it a light rinse, and maybe just squeeze out any of the excess water. But leave a little bit of that in there as you're leaving conditioner so you don't have to go in with additional moisturizing products once you're out of the shower. All of those moisturizing products layered on top of one another is going to prevent you from getting that hold that you want. So this is great as a 2-in-1. You can rinse it out completely or just leave that little tiny bit in after your shower. And then we can go into the styling portion. To style your low porosity hair, to get the hold, you just need a good gel. Now I've got two. We've got the Twist Weather Up Gel. This has been one of my go-tos. It's got some great anti-humidity ingredients in it. I like this because it can pretty much be used on its own as a one and done because it does have moisturizing properties to it as well. It feels very comfortable in the hair to even brush through which we usually don't do with the gel. The hold I would consider more of a medium hold. You can get a stronger hold when using this if you're not applying too many products underneath it. And this product also has wheat protein, would not be gluten-free, but wheat protein and proteins in general act as film formers, so they're gonna help to give a little bit more of that cast, that outer shell, that hold that you're looking for. It's gonna help to keep your curls defined. It's also not gonna weigh them down because coarse hair is naturally very heavy. And if you're looking for a little bit more volume in your style, these lightweight products are gonna help you with that. It's almost like the last thing you need is creams, and you're gonna wanna go for more water-based products to help kind of add hydration, but not too much emollient, occlusive, oily softening. Now for a more pricey option that's also protein-free, if you are very sensitive to protein, one of my favorite gels I used this year was the Nutriplenish Curl Gelee. It's gonna give you such amazing shine. It's gonna give you good hold. You don't really need to use any product underneath as long as you gave yourself good conditioning in the shower, or if you prepped your hair as well with a leave-in conditioner. This paired together is wonderful. But as I was saying, on its own, this Curl Gelee is very, very nice. It has a great hold to it. It's not going to be very heavy. Now, while this product does have a blend of very nice nourishing oils, it's very clear, very water-based. It can also be a great elongating product. If you're looking to kind of stretch the curls a little bit, you can see you've got beautiful length to you. And if you love your length, you like a little bit more of a relaxed, controlled, hard hold look, taking some of this and gliding it over your curls, really raking it through, is going to help them to set in that really defined place, and you will get hold. As long as you're applying it on hair that isn't too wet, and as long as you're not touching your hair too much when you are diffusing, because these things will soften your hair and you won't get the hold that you want, okay? As long as you're not doing that, then I'm telling you, this routine is going to be 10 out of 10 for you. Now, just because I quickly mentioned the spray leave-in conditioner, which is going to be great for low porosity hair. This is a very lightweight leave-in conditioner from Aveda with heat protection and protection from UV. I also want to mention the Hype It Up Weightless Refreshing Spray from Twist. Now, this actually isn't a leave-in conditioner, but I've used it as one, and I've also used it as a refreshing spray, which is what it's supposed to do. Because this has aloe vera leaf juice as the second ingredient, which is a film-forming ingredient as well, that's gonna help to add that hold to your hair. And again, you can also use this when you're refreshing. So for day 2, day 3, day 4, whichever hair. It's going to have light moisture, but also just wake up the curls again. Definitely a affordable and versatile product that you can get a lot of use of. But wait, because finally we got to finish you off with something that's going to give you a little bit of sealing, a little bit of extra shine if your hair tends to get a little bit dry. I'm just going to put you onto the Twist multi-use hair oil because you can use it for many different things. You can use it at the end of your routine if you want to scrunch out some of that crunch. But listen, I know you love your hold. Don't shy away from using a hairspray for a little extra hold in your hair. This one is made for curls. It's alcohol free, so it's non-drying. It's going to give a medium to strong hold that is also buildable depending on how much you choose to spray. Definitely a slept on way to add a little extra texture and hold to curly hair. It's hairspray. And I hope that you find this helpful. Not just you, Arlette, who's watching, hopefully, but anyone with their hair type and hair needs that can relate. Let's move up the porosity ladder, shall we? We have got Miss Maria with the medium texture, medium porosity hair, which means she's pretty average all around. Remember, we're talking medium. That means it's the average of both low and high, or fine and coarse. And so the products that I'm mentioning in this portion can be applied to almost everyone's routine. It is going to be very balanced with both protein and moisture. Maria has these curls that have this gorgeous bounce to them. And whether you have hair that's more on the wavy side or even on the tighter curl side, this is going to be more of a volume routine for the medium texture and medium porosity. As I've already mentioned, everyone's going to be clarifying. So we're going to start with some nice clarifying shampoos in the mix. But remember that we also treat our hair intuitively. You may not always need to use a clarifying shampoo. And so I always think that it's good to keep a different kind of shampoo in your mix so you can alternate. One that's really nice and lightweight is the Verb Ghost shampoo. And I'm also going to be mentioning the Ghost conditioner. These are priced more in between on the scale. The reason why I really like them is because they do have a little bit of protein, which is going to be great for medium or high porosity hair. But these especially are weightless. Shampoo gives a great cleanse, it lathers nicely, and it's also sulfate free and color safe. But the conditioner especially, this has got excellent slip. I love using this to detangle. It's going to be nourishing to the hair. It's going to give that perfect balance that you need of both moisture and protein. Again, Verb products are a little bit more mid-scale. I do have a discount code that you can use on Verb. I'll have that linked in the description box below, as well as the links to the products, so you can reference and use for that. It is definitely a favorite. Now for a little bit of a deeper conditioner, after you've clarified your hair, I am obsessed with the Eva NYC Therapy Sessions Hair Mask. This also has got a nice little dose of protein. It also has some silicones in it. Now silicones, like I mentioned, if you have really low porosity and hair that's resistant to water naturally, you're not going to need a lot of silicones. But the higher your porosity, the more cracks there are in your cuticle. And this is truly going to give like conditioning from root to tip. It's going to give great shine and excellent slip. This is a massive tub of product as well, and it's pretty affordable. It smells divine, but most importantly, it's very nourishing, so it's good to use on those days when you clarified. Moving on to prep your hair for styling for Weightless volume, I do really like the twist. This is the Rally the Curls Weightless Defining Primer. It's a very lightweight, creamy serum that's going to give nice moisture to the hair. If your hair gets easily weighed down, I would recommend this one. It's also got a good protein balance, but for a protein-free curl primer before styling, I love this as well. This is a really nice leave-in conditioner that is a cream texture. It's the Moisture Balance leave-in from Bounce Curl. This one I always like to point out because it is also glycerin-free. So depending on what climate you are in, because your hair is medium porosity, medium to high porosity, remember, it loves to absorb moisture that's in the air, and bring it into your hair. So if you're in a very humid climate, or on the flip side, if you're in a very dry climate, using products with a lot of humectant type of ingredients like glycerin or hyaluronic acid and even propylene glycol, these kind of humectant ingredients might not be your best friend if they are very highly concentrated in your product, but this one, it is just such an incredible leave-in conditioner that also happens to be silicone-free and cruelty-free and vegan. So it's a very versatile product that all hair types could use, and especially you. But as I said, we were going to make this a weightless routine. And so I will just mention one more because it's also from the Verb Ghost line, which I love. This is the Ghost Prep. This is a nice leave-in conditioner because it's also going to give heat protection. So if you are using a lot of heat, you do want to make sure that you are using heat protection. So this will give you that, as well as great slip for detangling. And of course, just be really lightweight. The main oil that's in the Ghost line is moringa oil, which is a very, very lightweight oil. It absorbs very well into the hair and skin. And I like that this product also has the ingredient polyquaternarium 11, which is very good for anti-humidity, hold, and frizz prevention. And moving on to styling. For a cream and gel combo, I love the Weather Up lotion and the Weather Up gel from Twist that I already mentioned. Me and my sis have both used this combo on our hairs a lot of times, and it is super well to define while also being lightweight. But the best way to be lightweight is to just apply less products to your hair. And so if you can get everything done all in one, why wouldn't you, am I right? This is an amazing one and done curl cream definer styler. It is the AG Curl Fresh definer. It is a curl cream. It's got a lot of slip, but it's also going to give you so much hold. It gives you this incredible gel cast without having to use a gel or a mousse for the cast. It is silicone free and it's also curl enhancing. Now, in order to enhance curls, there are a few products that can actually do that. A balance of proteins help to give your hair a little bit of enhancement. But salts, specifically magnesium sulfate, helps curls to coil up and encourage a little bit of extra bounce and shrinkage. So if you have a little bit more of a wavy curl and you're looking for a little extra enhancement, this is going to be the one and done. No gel necessarily needed, which is great because again, this one is another product that's a little bit on the mid-range to high luxury price point. Is it worth it? Absolutely, if you ask me, but work with your budget and don't break the bank. Just break the cast using an oil. I love this one. This is the Curlsmith Bonding Oil. It's kind of a dupe, per se, if you will, for the Olaplex number 7 Bonding Oil because they are both strengthening, but one is double the amount. They both look like liquid gold. But this is a great oil for my medium to high porosity curlies because it does have a little extra protein in there as well. So it's a protein infused bonding strengthening oil that's going to give you great shine, lock in all that hydration, moisturizing products that you used in your styling routine and give you the perfect finishing. This one's also a silicone-free oil. There's also more affordable options on the market that will still give you shine, like the Twist Curl Rain. That being said, for some of the best sealing and shine, because I already talked about the rest of the line, the Verb Ghost Oil, it's one of my favorites. And I hate to treat you like that. I didn't mean to treat you like that. I'm sorry, I love you. This one does have some silicones, which I love for higher porosity hair. It is also infused with protein, and it also gives you some heat protection. So we love that, and I'm gonna actually use some of it right now, just for some smoothing. Okay, we are ready for Casey, our high porosity queen, giving us her fine hair as an example for a routine that needs to be gentle, strengthening, lightweight, but also deliver the shine element that high porosity hair tends to naturally lack. So going in for cleansers, while we do still want to be clarifying, we do want to be gentle on this hair. Fine hair is so super prone to breakage, and so I would definitely recommend the Twist Light Clarifying Shampoo because it does also give a little bit of protein and it's conditioning while it is cleansing, but this may not be necessary all the time. In Casey's case, I would recommend using a co-wash occasionally because sometimes if we need to wash our hair a few times throughout the week, we just want to make sure that we're not stripping it too much. So the Twist Big, Rich, and Dreamy Co-Wash is going to be really good for that. Because again, it's almost supposed to be like a 2-in-1. Not that you shouldn't or can't condition afterwards, but as a shampoo, it's going to be so nourishing you can almost detangle it and work it through your strands to gently cleanse your ends as well. This formula has shea butter, which is going to be very thick and nourishing for fine strands that are high porosity and need a buttery kind of sealing. And this has rice protein, which is going to be strengthening. But my only complaint is because it's so thick, I find it a little bit almost difficult to work through the hair. For another kind of moisturizing cleanser, that's going to give you a little bit more of an invigorating feel on your scalp, so you still get a clean scalp feeling without, of course, being too stripping on the hair. I adore the Adjoa Biomint Moisturizing Shampoo. It has wintergreen, spearmint, and peppermint oils, so you definitely feel this kind of refreshing tingle on your scalp, while it is a very rich and moisturizing formula that I consider to be like a co-wash. Even though it's labeled a shampoo, she's so creamy. And I appreciate that it still has a lather, so it's easy to distribute. Now for a conditioner, as I already mentioned, the Therapy Sessions Hair Mask from Eva NYC. This is a deep conditioner. It can be used as a once a week kind of treatment. It can also be used daily or every time you wash as your regular conditioner. Again, it's got a great balance. It does have protein. It has a little bit of silicones as well, which is going to help to enable a little bit of that extra shine in our hair and to help keep that moisture in. The biggest problem with high porosity hair is it will absorb moisture, but it will spit it right back out, and our hair will just expand and get drier and more dull as the days go on, which is why we really need some good sealing on the outer cuticle layer of our hair to protect the inside contents. Fine hair naturally has less protein, naturally has less strength to it. It will be more prone to breakage, which is why we need to protect that inner cortex layer with things like proteins and even silicones. And this is formulated with argan oil as well, which is beautiful for shine. Also, it works very fast, 2 to 5 minutes, and you can rinse. You don't have to leave it on your hair for half an hour to get a really good deep conditioning. This thing is everything. But if you are looking for a product that is silicone free, if you prefer that in your routine, something that's also good for high porosity hair is this deep conditioner from Bounce Curl. It's their Ayurvedic deep conditioner. Very weightless, very lightweight for fine hair. It's specifically formulated to be used in hard water conditions as well, which is such a fancy thing. But this is very moisturizing. It's not a protein deep conditioner. It's just going to deliver a lot of moisture, hydration to your strands, leaving them soft, leaving them detangled. It has this really nice like whipped buttery texture to it. Speaking of butter, butters do really well in high porosity hair because again, like I said, it helps to give that sealing to lock everything in. You don't want to rely just on butter because we want hydration first. We want water, and we like to use butter for sealing and for helping to define. This is the Bounce Curl Defining Butter. This is great for twist outs, protective styles, or even wash and goes. It's got a good balance of products. It's not just butters. There's also humectants like glycerin. There's aloe vera, which is a film former and a great hydrator. And while this product is very thick, I've used it on my fine hair, which is a looser curl, and it still worked very well. But most importantly, it's going to give that extra moisture to that fine and dry, high porosity hair. Another more affordable, kind of buttery product like that is the Boss Bounce Light as Air Buildable Styling Cream from Twist. Also nice and buttery. She's quite thick with a lot of oils and butters in our hair routine. It can really help to soften the feel of your strands that might feel rough. I know mine do, being high porosity, with my cuticle looking like this instead of tight, you know, like this, it's like this. Instead of like this, it's like this. With a texture like that on curls, I want smoothing, I want sealing, I want softening, which is where, again, these butters really come in handy. You just, of course, don't want to put too much on fine hair that can be easily weighed down. So as a lightweight version, I'm going to bring back the Aveda Curl Gelee from the Nutriplenish line. Because while there is a beautiful blend of oils, there is some shea butter in here. It is such a hydrating formula. And it infuses the hair with so much shine, great definition. And again, depending on how it's applied, it can give some elongation as well. Really make those tight curls pop on a wash and go. It will give the hair some hold if you don't like the crunch. Just don't forget the scrunch. You can finish it off with one of the oils that I've been mentioning for shine, and you are looking divine. At least, I hope. I do wish that I could reach through the screen and touch and feel your strands, but in my experience as a professional behind the chair, and what I've learned through working with all types of textures of hair, no one routine is a one-size-fits-all. And so I hope by listening to the tips in this video and the different types of products that I recommended, you yourselves at home can also curate the routine that sounds fitting for your hair. And hopefully, if you like this video and you want to see more tips for all kinds of hairs that we didn't even get to touch on, I am definitely on the lookout for more models and definitely open to doing a whole series on videos like this. So let me know if you liked it by giving it a thumbs up. Comment below what your hair type and texture is, and you never know, we may be in touch. Thank you again to Arlette, Maria, and Casey for being our first time models. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Until the next one, this has been your main girl Mel, and I am out. Peace. Good evening. Good evening. That is good. My voice is not. And I also close the blinds because it's daylight savings, okay? Don't judge me. I keep thinking I can just toss shit around, but I'm scared. Join me and the Curly gang. Shout out to Curly Prince for this bomb sweater. So cute. Your conditioner sure. Thank you, ma'am. You can hear my voice is struggling. Did I just rip my earring out?